Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all keeping well out there in YouTube land. We're just sorting out the chat there. Right, let's. I would nearly said bring the guys in. At the moment, we've got Jamie to keep us up to date with what's going on. Scott, I did invite, but he's busy doing some work at Dale's old house. Dale is, I think, very busy with work at the moment. And I'm not very sure about Jake. I think Jake's got pretty bad weather, so I don't know what's happening with Jake. Anyway, Jamie's going to keep you up to date. I'll stick him back in the background, and I'll show you what we've got on the lathe. So on the lathe today, we've got a piece of ash. That looks okay there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Grand. Got a piece of ash, and I'm going to be using the brush oak colours again on this, trying different techniques. So this is going to be another technique that I haven't tried before. So I'll get this down into the chuck and then shaped up, and Jamie can let me know what's happening in the chat.
Okie dokie. Right, I'll scroll up a bit and read out who's out there. Right, so we have Mr. Chris Dodds out there. We have Joey Stillblade out there. We have Mr. Jeff Crone. We have Brian McLaughlin's out there. We have Lawrence Wages out there. We have Eric Winkler's out there. We have Mr. Martin Briefly Rains, Fleet or Snows out there. We have Gypsy Turner. We have Mr. Michael McEwen's out there. We have Doug Miller at Woodspun Rounds out there. Mr. Terry Bartlett. We have let's keep going down. Mr. Malcolm Douglas, Pod Woodworks is out there. Let's see who else. Mr. Matt Wackley. He's actually a superstar now, you know. Mr. Matt Wackley.
Is he?
If anything goes viral on YouTube now, it's being called. It's done a Wackley. That's what we're going to say from now on. He's a superstar. Who else we got out there? So we have
Chris.
Is out there. We have Mr. Terry Bartlett's out there. Mark General Woodturner's out there. Paul Lockwood. Brian Watkins is out there. We have Neil M. We have Canny is out there.
Hiya, Con.
Cheeky girl.
Cheeky girl.
Cheeky girl. We have Robert Dolman out there, and a question from Paul Lockwood. Says, what have we got on the lathe today?
It's a piece of ash, Paul. It is. I should have measured this up beforehand. 6 inches long. It's about 3.5, maybe just over diameter. Going to be one of my usual vase shapes, and I'm going to be using the brush oak paints.
There you go.
To give it some colour.
Right. Tipsy Turner says, sorry I got distracted. I made a new YouTube channel. I'm starting to turn shortly, so I thought I'd start a channel to reflect that. Good luck with it.
Nice one.
Ruby Claire is in.
Good afternoon, Ruby.
Hodgewash says, wow, the camera makes your ash look bigger. I'm just wondering how many cameras he's got on it. That says no bragging, Wayne.
There we go.
You have 30 people out there, Wayne, at the moment.
Nice. Thanks for coming along on this Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, whatever time it is and where you live.
Just to remind everybody, on the 26th, we have the Virtual Craft Festival back once again. A nice array of different hosts, as always.
Some new ones on
People
this month, isn't
Twisted,
there?
yeah, got a few new ones. Joey's on there from Stillblades on there. We have Crafts with Ellen's on there. Kenny Cosplay is another new one.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's some. We've actually got a contest going on. So we've got Al's Hack Shack versus Franco Noce, and they're going head to head in a cooking off
Oh, nice.
contest. So yeah, so we've got Steve Hale. He's in the chat now. Did I say Pete from Twisted Trees is in? If I didn't,
You
he's in.
did, yeah.
So there's a link to the pin to the top of the chat to Wayne's Buy Me a Coffee, which is really buy him a wine because he doesn't like flavoured coffee. I think that's misinformation, but there you go. So feel free to buy that. Buy Wayne a coffee, which is really a wine, which is really buy him lemon oil. Jennifer's Craft and Creations is in.
Hi, Jennifer. Move this tool rest a bit while I get the bottom of this shaped.
Chris says, Martin, I thought Joe will be cooking in the LD stall. Maybe next time, Chris. Maybe next time. I don't even know what Joey's doing, if I'm honest. Maybe something to do with the laser, I think. I could be wrong, though. Martin says, we want to see Joey live from the Home Depots. That'd be funny. Yeah, Joey said he's doing lasers. Pew pew. Ruby Claire says, what are you creating today, Wayne?
I'm just doing another one of my usual vase type shapes, which is going to have some colour. I'm using the Brusho colours. Sorry, the who are they made by? Colourcraft, which is an English firm. Sorry, Jamie, go on.
I was going to say Archie Monty's in.
Hi, Archie.
Make sure you put a lid on this vase, because you don't upset Archie Monty. We've got Sydney 61's in, Eric Winkler's in, Paul Bolton's in, Copper Owl's in. Rex B is in.
Hey, Rex.
They're all coming out of the woodwork now. No pun intended. Or pun totally intended.
There we go. I think that'll do for the shape. I'll just get this sanded up. I'll probably leave the colouring until last. And I'll try and quickly hollow this out. What I might do, mind you.
There you go. I'll let everybody else use their own minds and the old commentary section.
Makes me laugh every time you put that on. Just a little bit more on this part here. I always forget to do this. I'll just put a little mark where I'm going to start the parting off. I've got some cracking and stuff down here. I'm not overly concerned about that. It is a demo piece at the end of the day. Now the reason I do that is start making the mark for parting it is that whenever you do start parting off anything like this, you can get a little bit of a furry bit just around where the parting starts. So I always tend to start the parting and then I can give that a sand up.
So just also to let everybody know, we actually updated Wayne's merch store the other day. So if you want to get yourself a Wayne the Woodturner t-shirt, or a Drilly t-shirt, or a Mint t-shirt, or yeah, Jerkin Man t-shirt, or an Okay t-shirt,
Okay.
or a hoodie, or bag, or cup, or tumbler, or all that kind, or even a face mask, you now can. So
And you can
yeah,
find the link in my link tree, which is in the description.
or you can find it in the chat where I just posted it.
Or you can find it in the chat where Jamie's just posted it.
So yes.
Right, that's
I think
240.
they might have expected the music though, like, and there it is.
600.
Copper House says mint.
Right, I'll quickly, if I can quickly, get this hollowed out. What I'll do, I'll just straighten off the top first.
Eric Winkler's got a question for you, mate. He says,
Yeah.
Wayne, can you put any finish on a project that you use Yorkshire grit on?
Yes, you can. Just give it a bit of time to cure. Yorkshire grit doesn't have any solvents in, but it has got mineral oil and obviously wax in there along with the abrasive. But if you leave it a while, I'd recommend leaving it sort of 24 hours. If you leave it 24 hours, you can put any finish you want on there, including lacquer.
Eric Winkler says, no, tell a lie. Brian McLaughlin says, a t-shirt to keep the kids away from the fire.
Cheers, Brian.
Norman Greenwell's in.
Norman.
And you have 43 people out in the chat.
Excellent. Cheers, guys. Much appreciated.
Roy's the boy is now in as well. So that makes 44.
Right, do a quick measure on this, see how far I'm going to go down. About that far.
Not that far.
Just double check that.
Get the old Sharpie out, mate. Get the old Sharpie out.
I would if I knew where it
Roy's
was.
the boy says, what are we doing today?
Just a fairly simple vase shape, which I'm going to sort of quickly hollow out and then do some colour on the outside. Turn the speed down to around about 500.
Wood Turnings by Barry's in, and Greg Alexander is in.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Do you want to change cameras, mate? Dr. Bob is in.
Hey, Bob. You got your donuts?
Dr. Bob says, "Good day, everyone. Sorry I was late, and no, I wasn't getting donuts. I was finishing the breakfast dishes."
He
Rex
knows
B
his place,
says,
that man.
Rex B says, question, is there a type of, is there a wood that takes the colours better than others, and is it better dry or green?
You're better off dry. Close grained, light wood takes colours very well, as in the likes of sycamore, the likes of maple, stuff like that. Ash does take colour well. The only thing with ash is that it's quite, if I open this up, let's see, put it back on overhead for a minute. It's quite open grained ash. That's the only thing with it. I prefer, if I can, to have something close grained for colouring, but I don't actually have any decent sized sycamore at the moment. Sorry about that.
Eric Winkler says, Wayne, I used Yorkshire Grit on ironwood bowl and finished it with lacquer about 2 hours later, and the lacquer did not adhere and had to remove all the lacquer.
Right. You're better off leaving it longer than that, to tell you the truth. And the other thing as well is that I think ironwood's quite an oily wood as well.
Yeah. You're probably best with washing it off with methylated spirits or denatured alcohol.
Yeah, that's the best. I forgot about that, to tell you the truth. That's the best thing to do if you can. If you want to use any sort of different finish over the top of Yorkshire Grit, try cleaning the piece off with methylated spirits or denatured alcohol first.
Yeah. Heather
I'm sure.
from Spirit Wind and Wood Stone and Bone is in.
Good afternoon.
And Forking Owls is in.
Good afternoon.
I must admit, Wayne, this part of the project is incredibly boring.
Yeah, I know.
Tipsy Turner says, would sanding sealer help with that too? Ask Ashley.
Sand and sealer would help, but I'd still, what I would still do is clean it off with denatured alcohol. I've actually shown, I'm sure in a couple of my lives, I've shown where you can actually do colouring over the top of Yorkshire Grit. So once you use the Yorkshire Grit, you clean it off with methylated spirits, denatured alcohol, and then you can actually do your colouring.
Yeah. Roy's the boy just says, is that before or after using Yorkshire Grit? I think Wayne just answered that. Roy, it's after you using Yorkshire Grit. Clean it off, mate.
All you're doing, you're not right. Once Yorkshire Grit's done its job, and is basically part of the sanding process, that's it, done its job. You can clean the wood off, any excess, any oil or wax or anything that hasn't actually gone into the piece. You can actually clean that off with methylated spirits, so it goes back down to the bare wood. And then if you're using paint, you can go ahead and use sanding sealer. If you're using water-based stains, spirit-based stains, don't use sanding sealer because you want that to soak into the wood.
Wivey Woodsheds there. Eric Winkler says, yes, thank you. I did wipe down with denatured alcohol. I'm afraid to try.
Right, what I'll do next Wednesday, I'll do a couple of different techniques with Yorkshire grit, or I'll use Yorkshire grit and do some colouring over the top and see how we
There
go.
Forking Out says, question for JP. Have you done a video of you making a gonk? If you haven't, would you ever do one? I haven't, and yeah, I'd do one. I'd make one, yeah, definitely. I don't see no reason why not.
Change over to a scraper now. Just move my tool rest out because I'm using the Robert Sorby scraper.
I'm trying to find that comment from Paul. So Paul says, to be honest, if you're using a lacquer, then just use a couple of extra grits rather than an abrasive paste.
Do it for Yorkshire!
That's what we say, Paul. Blimey. Paul says he rarely uses Yorkshire grit, which is why he's still on the aluminium tin from 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Which is
he
almost
has.
empty. I wouldn't bother with a chestnut version, Paul. Personal preference. Nothing against chestnut. Just personal preference. Susie Swiss Woodturners is in and says, question, what is a wood and will it be a vase or hollow form?
It'll be a vase, but they all tend to get hollowed out anyway, so. And thanks for coming in, Susie. She must be either on her lunch break or coffee break, I would think. Put this tool rest up a little bit. Bring it in closer because I'm using a different tool now.
And also not as good, Paul.
Sorry?
So I'm just replying to Paul.
All right.
Chris says, JP, give the gonk glasses as well, then it will look like someone we know. Will it have to have white hair as well? Brian McLaughlin says, what tool is that?
This is which camera I'm on? This is the Simon Hope carbide. It's got a cupped carbide cutter on
All right,
the end,
Mark.
which is set at 45 degrees.
All right. Got you, mate.
What's that? What did I say?
No, Mark just messaged me about something.
All right, okay.
Seth from Brickhouse Craftworks is in.
Hi, Seth.
And make the gonk holding a little orange drill. I think they want me to make a Wayne the Woodturner gonk.
Oh, is that what they say? Tell you the truth, I haven't still done the.
He's going to have about 5 or 6 different. Here's a good question for the chat. If I was to make a Wayne the Woodturner gonk, what should it be holding? Because I can make interchangeable hands. I could put him holding a tub of Yorkshire grit, which is a far superior abrasive paste to any other abrasive paste on the market. Right, here we go. Glass of red wine, a lightsaber, a glass of wine, wine. Oh, drilly, wine.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for something.
Hodgepodge has got a good idea. You could put magnets on it. One proper drilly, definitely a wine glass. Tipsy Turner says he's ash.
He's ash.
Sounds like it sounds like this could be a good idea, mate. A wine the Woodturner.
A Wayne the Woodturner. That's it.
Mark the Gentleman Woodturner says a corkscrew. Canny, you cheeky gill. Says wine, of course. Benjamin's in.
Hiya, Ben. Oh, he'll probably say walnut.
Yeah, walnut.
Now I'm just this has got a flat carbide cutter on. Using the cupped carbide cutter, you can sometimes get ridges on the inside of the vase or hollow, whatever you're doing. Using a flat one, you can usually clear off those ridges.
Yeah.
So just go nice and gentle. Whenever you're using one of these tools, the swan neck tool, always have the tool rest, always started with the tool rest on the flat part of the bar. Or if it's a round bar, the round part of the bar. Don't start it on the swan neck. If you started on the swan neck, you've got more chance of it actually twisting and getting a catch.
Royce the Boy says you can make a mini tub of Yorkshire grit.
What the way these swan necks are made is that the cutter should be in line with the straight bar. So you've got less chance of actually getting any twisting if you're actually using on the straight bar to turn.
Yeah. Barry is in.
Hiya, Barry.
Hodgepodge says he should have a little cardboard box with little worms in it, and if you look close, one's got a beard and Easy Wood shirt, and the other's a glass of sweet tea. I think he's talking about me, you, and Jake. Benjamin says, do you own a woodcut hollowing tool, Wayne? I think they all cut wood.
Bear with me, Ben. Bear with me. I've got it lying around here somewhere. There we are. Mine is years old. My woodcut one. I think I got this in the 1990s sometime.
Mark says, Wayne, what is your preferred way of sharpening that swan neck cutter?
Sharpening? I thought that was a carbide tip that was on there. Is it just high-speed steel? Right. If it's high-speed steel, what I've actually got, Mark, hang on, I'll just show you. I use the, no, it's not in there. What the hell is it? Oh, there it is.
It's in the shaving.
I use one of these. This is the Robert Sorby multi-tip sharpener. So what I do, you basically your tip gets fastened into the end there, and then I set my pro edge at 80 degrees. So so I get a really steep cut when I'm sharpening. So that's what I use. If you don't want to go down that route of spending money to do that, use a diamond. Just use a flat diamond and sharpen it on the flat on the diamond with some, oh, what the hell is it called? Lapping fluid.
Yeah.
And that'll give it a good. If it's high speed steel, that'll give it a really good edge.
Mark says he uses his diamond card, but I don't feel like I do a good job.
Try it if you can, Mark. Get hold of some lapping fluid.
I just sold my Pro Edge.
Where's the best place to get? Is it Trend that do them?
Trend do it. It's fantastic stuff. And actually, I think I've got a bottle of it. Richard Morley gave me some ages ago.
Who's it made by again? I'm forgetting his name.
Trend do some.
Yeah, but Trend do the oh, who is it that sells the diamond stuff? He's at all the shows. White hair, longish. Travels the world with Trend, or he used to anyway. Oh God, forgetting his bloody name now.
Someone will write it in the chat, I'm sure. It's on legs, Roy.
Right, let's see if this Sandra will go in there. Or have I got to change it for a smaller one?
Roy says, why did I sell my Pro Edge? Because I don't use it. So it seems I'm going to stick to using carbides. I'm supported by Easy Wood, so which basically means I've got a drawer full of record power tools that I'm going to sell now.
That's not going to fit. Right, we'll forget sand on the inside.
I've got the spindle turning set and the bowl turning set that I'll probably use, I don't know, once or twice.
Right, I'll put this back on the overhead. There we go. And I'm going to do some colouring now. Let's
can I charge more for them because they've been on screen. I could charge more for them because they've been used by Wayne.
Yellow. Right, we'll start off with Connie's favourite.
Purple. Benjamin says James Barry. I thought
That's
he retired.
him. That's him. Well, I don't know. He's probably not still doing stuff for Trend. I'm sure he's not doing stuff for Trend. As to whether he's retired or not, I'm not sure. Right. So what I've done, this comes in powder form.
Centrifugal.
This comes. You can't really do centrifugal on a vase because it tends just to go out the way.
I know that.
Yeah, centrifugals will work best at doing on the rim of a bowl. But what I've done, I've just used a paintbrush just to drop some of the powder onto the vase. Now I'm going to use a thinner paintbrush and just see if I can actually bring these out. I probably should have had this dampened a little bit, but actually dampening it
Katie's
becomes part of the effect. Now that looks like absolute nonsense at the minute. Nothing happening.
It'll be fine.
Until... Oh, I better move that out the way.
Hodgepodge says spreads better when your ash is moist.
There we go. That's that. I'll just carry on with the purple, I think.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
There's various ways.
Let it be known, Wayne. I've actually got to send something to Connie soon, so just saying.
There's various ways of using this. You can actually put it on dry as a powder form like I am, and then squirt some water out of the diffuser onto it, like that. You can actually wet the wood, then put it on to get a different type of effect. Or you can actually mix it up with water and just use it as a watercolor paint. And Paul Lockwood, I think, has got either 1 or 2 videos out showing how he did this, just using it as a watercolor, and the colors are really, really vibrant with these paints.
Benjamin says, I managed to get rid of my intense smell. Did you have a wash? Oh no, he says incense smell. He says with bacon.
It actually spreads the colours out. The dampness
He
spreads
says
the colours out.
one video,
Brilliant.
but a lot of images on Instagram.
One final one there.
Katie's asking how everybody is.
Very well, thank you.
Paul says you can get them from very light pastel colours to really deep colours.
You can, yeah. They come. I mean, I've got 12 colours here, but they do a whole range of colours, really.
Hodgepodge says looks a bit like fireworks.
That's what I'm hoping for, or something similar. What's this? Scarlet. Let's have some scarlet on there.
I'll do put another colour over the top of it and spray it.
Well, these have got actually. It's. I don't know if you can see it very well. You can't really see it very well, and overhead will probably be too close. But it's called purple, but there's different colours in there. I mean, there's some reds in there as well. And I think when you use the black comes with that tends to have different colours in as well. What I'll do with the next part of this, I'll put the water on first. Let's put some water on.
March has come out with a good idea. I've seen people use an airbrush for like a real fine sand blaster. I wonder if you can put these powders in an airbrush, like Mark just said.
Yeah, but
I
putting them in
really
an
like
airbrush,
puff.
they'll already be in water. I don't think they'll
No,
go
no, no,
through.
no puff. Put like puff of powder.
I don't think
Or
that'll.
they're too coarse.
I think they're going to be too coarse, to tell you the truth.
I wonder if you could grind them down a bit more. Roy says, "How much does that whole box cost, Wayne?" Wayne didn't buy them. I had a lack of sleep one day, and I bought them for him. I think they cost about £20, something like that. Let me have a quick
Yeah,
look.
on Amazon.
I'll get the link for everybody.
I'm going to carry on putting this on dry, I think.
Orders. There we go. It's there. £19. A assorted pack of 12 colours. Brasho. Right. Let's get that and put that over there. Benjamin says, could you use paprika instead?
I
And
don't know,
turmeric.
but give it a go, Ben, and let me know how you get on.
There's the UK link to Amazon. Oh, he said put the no. I've misread what Mark meant. He says no. He says put the powder on the wood and then give it a puff with the airbrush to move it
All
around.
right, to move it
A puff of
around.
air. Yeah. Give it a quick poof of air.
Right.
I wonder if you could
Okay.
just do that with a straw as well. That might be another way of doing it.
The thing is, Mark, what tends to happen with this, Mark, is that it tends, when you put it on dry onto a dry piece of wood, it tends to just sit there. It doesn't actually start going into the wood until you dampen it. Now, if I was to use let's turn my airbrush compressor on. I tell you what, Mark, there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
I'd say so.
We'll try it in two areas. I'll try one area just like that.
Chris Dodd says you could use the force.
Because I think this is just going to blow off the wood. Yeah, it just blew off the wood. So the other thing you can do is to try it
It
on.
does look like there's a bit of residue still on there, though.
Yeah, I think that's because I haven't taken the paint pot off the or the colour off the airbrush. I think that's what that is. Now, if I dampen that a wee bit, wipe a bit of the excess off, and then put some on and see what
That
you get.
sticks to it a bit, yeah.
So it sticks to it a bit. Let's take that colour pot off there. Get rid of all the paint out of that.
Hodgepodge says, I wonder if applying Yorkshire grit and smearing it could leave an interesting smear effect.
Right, now, not necessarily Yorkshire grit, but you can use, nah, that didn't work, not to worry. What you can use to get a different effect is use wax, and you can actually draw on different wax shapes, and then the paint will actually soak into the wood around the wax, but it'll not soak in where the wax is, so you can get different effects doing that as well.
Jen says I missed her question. Let's have a look. Let's go.
All right.
Jen, where are you? Blimey, Jen. When was that? Jen says afternoon. Was it before you said hello to Barry? Because I can't seem to find it. Unless it's not there. Where is it? Jen, where are you? Oh, there we go. Question, please. If you were to use isopropyl alcohol, could you use a combination, but combination make it the same as alcohol stain?
Yes, you can. You can
Excuse me.
actually use. You can use these colours with isopropyl alcohol as well as water.
Douglas Mungham says, would you like another pie, Wayne? Sorry, he didn't say that. He says, Wayne, how about blowing it off the brush?
You could. I mean, I did on the bowl I did the other week. I actually flicked it off the brush. That'll give a very similar type of effect. Where's the yellow?
Benjamin says, on second thoughts, I think paprika between your ash cracks may cause a rash.
Ben, I'm pleased you don't get out often.
Hodgepodge says, I'd go to a doctor if my ash had that sort of discoloration.
To do the flick type thing, you're actually better off using a toothbrush.
Brian McLaughlin says, would it work to colour CA glue? That's not a bad idea. You could use it to fill in.
I don't see any reason why not, to tell you the truth, Brian.
Filling gaps, yeah. I'm assuming you'd have to use like a sanding sealer or something first, though, because in case of bleeding, if you wanted to use it to fill in cracks, especially in ash.
Oh, let's move that pot out of the way.
Roy says it will burn his ash.
Right, I've just put some yellow on there as well. The thing is, once you start using too much water, everything just tends to blend in with everything else.
Yeah. John over at Jigsy Shed is in.
Hey, John.
Ruby Claire says, what brand of paints are these?
These are Colourcraft, Ruby. All one
Brusho.
word. Colourcraft Brusho Crystal Colour. It's a UK firm. They're based in Sheffield, and but you can buy them on Amazon. So I would imagine you should be able to get them in Canada.
I would imagine so. Yeah, I'm gonna post a link again for you, Ruby. To the I mean, it'd be the UK site, but I mean, you could always search for them in Canada. There we go. Hodgepodge says, can this be applied onto a painted piece? Does it need to be sorted into a soak into the effect?
Right. If I was to use sand and sealer on this, obviously that's going to block all the grain up and everything, unless it's sanded back really, really good. But with this type of paint, what I've found is that it's the same as intrinsic colours, the same as what Martin does with his intrinsic colours. It needs to go onto the wood because it's more of a stain. If you like, okay, once you mix it with water, it becomes a watercolour. But it's more of a stain. So certainly with wood, it needs to soak in. People who do painting with these colours may well use different techniques. What all I've done is watched a few YouTube videos and basically just tried to adapt what people do on the videos to what I do in wood turning.
Heather says a set of 6 colours in Canada is $58.
Bloody hell.
Wow, that's expensive.
Right, so I'm going to use sand and sealer now.
A set of 12 would be what, $38? in Canadian. I think it's what $2, $2 Canadian to the pound, is it not? Something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'll tell you what, I do like the idea of using spices though to try and colour wood. I might give that a go.
Well, you just give that a couple of minutes to dry off. Oh,
Douglas
I'll drop
Mangum
that.
says, Wayne, could you put it on before turning as it soaks in?
Say that again, Jamie. Could I what?
Could you put it on before turning as it soaks in?
You could, but I don't think it actually soaks in that way. You can see at the top how far it's soaked in. If I was to put this on before turning it, you'd probably end up turning it all off.
I wonder if you as well if you could use that stuff in a stable in like cactus juice.
I'm not sure, to tell you the truth.
Because I'm wondering as well. 'Cause I mean, I've
That,
seen
that is how
people. Because I
that is
saw.
how people put colour into stabilised wood, isn't it? By colouring the wood and then putting it into the cactus juice.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you, because obviously if you should just get a piece of wood and just leave it for I don't know a couple of months in water, and that colour, and then just obviously just dry it out, it's going to be stained to some point. You start putting a flower in coloured water. Eventually, that flower is going to soak up that coloured water and change colour.
Yeah.
Hodgepodge says, can use Alumilite dye in cactus juice. Yeah.
Right.
I
So
wonder
what
if
I'll
you can
do, I'm
do
just going
that.
to knock the sand and sealer back. Hopefully, this won't get rid of a hell of a lot of the colour. And I don't think it has. So that's the sand and sealer. And now, what you can do, seeing as how the sand and sealer on there, I could use some Yorkshire Grip Microfine.
Heather says 12 colours is $77.
Dear me.
So that's about nearly $40, £40. 35 $40, some £35 40, something like that. I think around that sort of area. I think quite expensive, isn't it? Yeah, Wayne. Mark said it's like a tie-dye effect. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool actually. I wonder if no, I don't think that would work because it would just soak straight under the tape, wouldn't it? Or string or whatever. Holshworth says, I bet there's an alternative brand of coloured pigment, cheaper.
Oh
If you've got
yeah,
a
I mean, there's,
yeah, without
I
doubt.
think there's a lot of people do powdered pigments rather than just buying them already mixed.
Yeah.
I'll just finish this off with some microcrystalline wax.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just doing a light buff on that. And then what I can do, I'll get this parted off now so you've got a finished piece to see. But what I can do, once all the solvents have evaporated from the microcrystalline wax, I can actually put the buffing wheel on the lathe and get it buffed up to a nice shine. But I'll get this parted off for now so you can actually see the finished piece.
You might want to move your camera over a little bit, mate.
I'll just go back onto this one.
Yeah, there you go. Roy's the boy's off. He's got to go and drop his wife off at her mum's.
Thanks for coming in, Roy.
Jen says it's actually cheaper to buy it from Amazon than to buy it direct from the Colourcraft website. Hodge Rose says, I wonder if you can buy one of those cheap watercolour trays that you buy at school and just grind it up a little bit. That's got a bad idea. You know what he's talking about, Wayne?
Yeah.
You get them. You can get them for like Poundland or something like that, and just get the watercolor little discs and just grind them up.
So there we go. That's it. That's again just playing about with the Colourcraft colours. Tomorrow night, what I'll be doing another vase, and I'll be using my angle grinder and colours again. I'll probably be using intrinsic colours tomorrow night. That'll be after Saturday morning cartoons.
What I think I would say about that idea that Hodges just come up with about them little discs, though, is I think the stuff Wayne's using is more of a concentrate. So it might the stuff of them little discs you're probably not going to see very well.
Yeah,
It's worth a try. I mean, for $1 or £1 or whatever.
Yeah, so tomorrow night I'm going to be using probably the small angle grinder to do some texture and then do some colouring on a vase. Sunday night, my premiere on Sunday night is going to be this, which is an oak box with a God, what's it called? And it said GPS. It is GPS, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, with a GPS disc in there. So that's going to be my premiere on Sunday. Tomorrow, oh sorry, tonight.
For Archimonte's sake, it's a vase with a lid.
Tonight we've got Steve at SK Crafts on, and he's got two special guests tonight. He's got Pat Carroll, and he's also got Andrew Hall in as special earworms tonight. Tomorrow we've got Saturday morning cartoons with Jake and Jamie.
Yeah. We're going to be making
night,
some blanks for Maker Central because we're going to be doing a live. Jake and I are doing Saturday morning cartoons live from Maker Central.
There you go. I'm going to have to get time off the Taylor's Murfield stand to watch that. What else is happening tomorrow? Oh yeah, I'm on tomorrow night. If you're a Patreon of Jake's got his Patreon show on tomorrow, which I think is going to be 6:30 now, isn't it? UK time?
Yeah, it's an hour earlier than normal, yeah.
Yeah. Sunday.
My one's at 5 o'clock.
Oh yeah, if you're a Patreon of Jamie, he's having a live show at 5 UK time on Sunday. I've got my premiere. Oh, sorry, Scott's got his premiere out on Sunday at 10 p.m. I've got a premiere out at 10:30 p.m. and then Jamie's got his premiere out on Sunday night at 11 p.m. And I think that's about it for the weekend. Right then. Let's bring Jamie in just to say to everybody. And there he is. Right, how we're doing for time? Oh, just coming up to 2 o'clock. Spot on.
Look at that, mate. Spot on.
Spot on.
Right, nearly right now. If you keep talking for another, I don't know, 30 odd seconds or so, you'll be dead on the hour.
There we go. Right, guys, I'm going to hit the button. Thank you, everybody, for coming along. Much appreciated. I do really appreciate everybody that comes in to watch me mess about on the lathe and usually hear the earworms talking a load of nonsense. It's all good for all that. And I will see you all tomorrow at some point, hopefully. Bye for now.